Hello, my name is Marco Garza. I'll be your instructor for Management 6333. This is an accelerated online program in human resource management, specifically in healthcare. What I'd like to do today is quickly go through the syllabus and go over kind of the course layout in Blackboard. Again, I think this is an important review to get access to, given this is an accelerated course. It's important to kind of go through and have a good understanding of what the expectations are, and also know where the tools and some of the things you're going to have to get familiar with. So let's get right into it. We're going to start with reviewing the course syllabus. This syllabus is available in Blackboard, of course. Here, if you go to syllabus, once you go into the course, there's welcome, orientation, overview, professional information, and then course syllabus. So you click here and it's going to essentially open up the course syllabus. So let's go through each one. Name information. This is my contact number. I welcome you to call that one. That's my mobile. That's the best way to get a hold of me in terms of through the phone. I can give you the desk number, but this is the better one. The other great one to get in touch with me is my Pan Am email. I just saw a typo there that I've just corrected. So my Pan Am email is in the syllabus, m_garza@utpa.edu. Usually we respond within 24 to 48 hours. This being an accelerated course, I'll probably speed that up a bit to get responses out quicker. Also, online support for technical areas. You're going to get real familiar with this one is the Center for Online Learning and Technology, COLT. More importantly, get familiar with the fact that their days, they're only there Monday through Friday, and these are the hours that they're available, and there's the phone number. So I recommend if you're taking an exam or you're working on the weekend, which a lot of folks, busy working professionals do, you're going to want to make sure that you give yourself some room to handle certain assignments or maybe take the exam on during the week. That way, if you run into any issues, you have the COLT help desk to ask questions to. But essentially, here's the course descriptions. We're going to be covering human resource management within healthcare organizations. Two main areas. Predominantly, we're going to talk about healthcare systems, but I also it was going to have a strong emphasis on healthcare practices as well. That's actually some of my background is working with large healthcare systems. I've done that for many years throughout the country, but and most recently working quite a bit with larger healthcare practices, multi-practice locations throughout Texas, mainly South Texas. So we're going to be covering that quite a bit. Textbooks, this is an important one. So textbooks, we're going to be using McDonald 2013 Healthcare Managers Resource Handbook. And essentially, this is, you can buy the print version as well. I highly recommend not to buy the printed version. Why? It'll take too long to get here. This is being an accelerated course. I highly recommend purchasing the the ebook version, and I'll go through the instructions on how to access that. Actually, I'll do that right now. This is in your syllabus as well. I'm sorry, not in your syllabus. This is in the section within Blackboard. But essentially, this one, I recommend an option is the ebook option. There's 3 links you can go to buy, to essentially rent the book. If you want to purchase it for perpetual access, it's there. So that's an option. Let me show you where this is in Blackboard so you can get access to that. It's under the Welcome Start section. And if you go into required textbook, this is where I put that required textbook there. Again, I highly recommend the ebook version. That way you'll get access to the book immediately. Also, we're 7-week program. We're going to have an exam starting every week, but essentially starting week 1, of course. And it's important that you get access to the textbook so you can be prepared to take the exam. And that's how to get it there. Also, required access through the vendor, through the publisher, is you're going to be needing what's called LearnScape package access. You can order it. I don't recommend getting this alone. This would be in the case if you were to purchase the book or an ebook outside of one of these vendors and you want to get the LearnScape package individually. LearnScape, essentially what this is, and I'm going to give a separate video describing what the LearnScape package is, but in a nutshell, it is a virtual simulation where the manager, the healthcare manager is interacting with the HR person in various scenarios. So LearnScape is a scenario-based online environment in which you're going to be going through some scenarios and also responding to questions via a test that you're going to be getting through Blackboard as well. So you're going to need that. It's not an optional one, it's a required one that goes along with your text. So again, the two pieces of material or textbooks and required resource are the Healthcare Manager's Resource Handbook, 2nd edition. I strongly recommend the ebook edition. And then also you're going to need access to what's called LearnScape package. The beauty of this is the publisher is the same one that has created the LearnScape package for our course. So it should be really a really good program. Prerequisites. You're going to want to of course, be familiar with using Blackboard and some of the tools. That's a major essential piece. Course objectives. What we're going to be covering here in our course is describing the relationship and the importance between HR and the organizational environment. That's one of the first parts. We're going to discuss the financial and legal aspects of human resource management in the healthcare context as well. Describe role of cultural diversity. Describe tangible and intangible factors that motivate employees in the workplace. Very important piece, especially in healthcare right now. You're going to also learn to demonstrate the understanding of performance management. You're also going to understand the core functions of HR management, such as the main functions: recruitment, selection, evaluation, compensation, training development, decision making. These are all primary foundational pieces within human resource management, again, just in a healthcare context. You're going to also lastly understand there's a lot of contemporary HR issues going on right now that are affecting healthcare. So we're going to go through an opportunity to explore some of those contemporary current HR issues within healthcare and how they affect the manager within that environment. Course format, of course, is a Blackboard. We're using a Blackboard course. Some of the hardware and software, you've already maybe taken multiple classes using Blackboard. I recommend finding the web-based, the internet platform that works best for you. Internet Explorer, Firefox. I seem to find more stability using Firefox. It's up to you. It's what works best. Course organization and online tools. So structure. Let's get into this section here. The actual course schedule. So week 1, you're going to see the week, the area, the activities, what is due, and the points associated with each of these. So in week 1, we're going to start with HR and the organizational environment. So activities, you're going to read the syllabus, read chapters 1 and 2. You want to start to get familiar with Blackboard, the Collaborate job aid and video. That's another tool. And again, there'll be a separate Blackboard Collaborate video that I'll post just on that. And again, start to become familiar with Blackboard itself. The key deliverables by the end of this work week, you're going to complete and post a team charter. I'll review each of those. Complete exam 1, and here we have the points available. So exam 1 is 100 points, and the team charter, there's no points, and I'll explain why in a minute. Week 2, the HR manager, healthcare manager, and the HR department. We're going to read chapters 3, 4, and 5. This is where we start into week 2. We get into our discussion post. You have your exam as well. And now you're going to post a team video introducing each other to the class. It doesn't have to be a video. I say video there. Using Collaborate, there's a separate section introducing. You don't have to use Blackboard Collaborate to do that. I recommend it. That way you can become familiar with utilizing Blackboard Collaborate, because that is the tool the teams will be using. And yes, you're going to be assigned in teams. You'll be using to post your team presentation that you'll be responsible for developing and delivering in week 7, which is the last week of our course, and associated points there. Recruitment and staffing, we're getting into that section in week 3, chapter 6 and 7. Now you see the beginning, the first of one of 2 LearnScapes episodes that you're going to be responsible for viewing, interacting with, and responding in terms of discussion questions. Also, you'll have chapter 3, and you're going to complete the chapter 3 LearnScape chapter and LearnScape little mini exam from that web-based scenario. Week 4, we get into employee relations and the manager. That's chapter, you're going to be reviewing chapter 8 and 9. And then now you're going to post what's called a wiki post. We'll explain what those are in a minute. And then complete exam 4. If you ask, well, what will the exam cover? The exam, as it is with all of these, the exam will cover what we post and talk about, but more importantly, the exam will cover the chapters within that given week. So you're going to read these chapters. So the majority of the exam will come from, in this scenario, exam 1 will come from chapters 1 and 2. Exam 2 will come from these chapters. Exam 3, chapters 6 and 7. Exam 4, chapters 8 and 9, and so on. So in week 5, we get into performance management and healthcare and termination. So quite a bit of chapters here. We're starting to get busy. And you might be starting to see a theme here. We start somewhat light in week 1 and 2, and slowly we start to build up the content. So it's very important that you do not get behind, because this is a 7-week accelerated course. What we're essentially doing is you're taking a semester-long course and condensing the time, not the content, into a 7-week program. So it's critical that you dedicate the time to thoroughly understand what's expected and give yourself time to complete the assignments in a timely manner. If not, you will be behind. And once you get behind in any given week, it makes it very, very difficult to catch up, and you will not be successful in the course. So I want to ensure that. So in light of that, I've developed the course where it essentially starts off a little light, and we start to increase the content and intensity as we move into week over week as we go through the course itself. So going into, again, week 6, chapters 10, 11, 12, 13, we have our second and last LearnScape video. Again, you're going to have to purchase access to LearnScape videos. I showed you where that is, and I'll re-review it in a moment. And there's the discussion post. Week 6, chapters 14, 15, contemporary HR concerns in healthcare, you're going to post. This is where you can start really posting your team videos, team presentations using Blackboard Collaborate. Really, it started in chapter 6, week 6 and week 7. You're going to post a video, and you're going to post your second and last, what's called the wiki post. I'll explain that and review that in a moment. Week 7, employee development. It's chapter 15. So this is, again, where if you have it in week 6, you're also going to post. If you haven't done it in week 6, you'll post it in week 7. The deadline to post your team presentations are on week 7. I'll review each of those in a moment. And then deliverable is you're going to present a video using Blackboard Collaborate. So let's get into each of the grading policy and the area and what the points are. So you see here the first one. You have the activity, the type of activity, is it group or individual, description of the activity, the points, and the percentage.